we've got questions, so, for Whiskey Gypsies, Ari Sussman, and you talk about that that blending, that going down that rabbit hole, so to speak. I think some have called you at times the mad scientist. You call yourself a whiskey maker these days. What is it about creating blends and doing these fun things and trying new things that you love so much?
I mean, I've been called a lot worse than the mad scientist. I've been called- that's one of the nicer things someone's ever called me.
I'm glad I could do that for you.
And I know some real mad scientists who would have a laugh that I would be called a mad scientist. But I think there's a lot of mystery and intrigue around whiskey and whiskey making and whiskey blending, and maybe mad scientist is like a convenient catch-all. Um, but a whiskey maker is not that different than, say, a chef, in the way that whiskey makers approach whiskey in the same way that a chef approaches ingredients, or even in the same way that a cobbler, or a shoemaker approaches making a good pair of shoes. You start with good materials. You hopefully have great mentors that teach you how to use the tools and the equipment. Then you use a little bit of your surroundings and your perspective to create a good pair of shoes. So making whiskey is kind of like making shoes. And you know, uh, of all the jobs that are out there, making whiskey is not the worst one at all. You get to work with really phenomenal people, and if you get to work with top quality whiskey, it feels a little bit like a chef or a perfumer, or some of these people, or a cobbler, people who have the opportunity of bringing together like fine ingredients and then hopefully creating something new and fresh with them.
Well, no, I was gonna say, you have such a cool history with background with everything you've done in your life. I mean, you've worked with seed banks to revive historical grain varieties for whiskey making. You've even raised ostriches and almonds in the Middle East. I mean, what is it about this adventurous side and history side and just kind of exploring things that calls to you?
So personally, I've been very fortunate to have some unique experiences, and I was never really inclined to follow an expected route. Um, you know, it we all have the expected route that's laid out in front of us, and we can choose whether to follow it or to do our own thing and follow our own gut. And I just didn't really see the point at the time in following the expected route. But so I tried to have as many experiences and varied experiences and immersions and avocations um, as possible. I just kind of felt like I was a little bit like on a journey, and I wanted to see people, and I wanted to see places and have various experiences, and I was less concerned with the sorts of things that modern society values. This is particularly during my 20s. During my 30s, I settled down a little bit, and now I'm into my 40s. But those experiences, whether it's traveling around or working on farms around the world, those all help sort of create the tools that you can put in your whiskey making toolkit. So, each of those experiences hopefully uh, contribute in some way to something that you do in the future. And if they don't, that's fine too. Um, but I think that if you want to be a rule breaker, say like in the whiskey space or maybe any space, it it helps to kind of throw any expectations of a normal route out of the window. That's those sort of expectations aren't really an asset.
I was gonna say, it seems like then you're a perfect pair with Eric Church and his team and Outsider Spirits. I feel like that you embody that with everything you're talking about. And you kind of touched on this in our chat. You got the legacy, the explorer. What I'm guessing those are some fun things that are coming for Whiskey Gypsy, and I'm guessing you're looking even further into the future with other fun things too. But I don't want you to get in trouble either.
No, I think probably by the time this airs, we might actually have another sort of product family. So we've got the Legacy, we have the Explorer, we have another product family that will be available in one location for now, but our esteemed co-founder Eric Church is opening a I don't even know what to call it. It's not quite a honky tonk. It's a bar, restaurant, event space, recording studio, concert venue on Lower Broadway in Nashville called Chiefs. Phenomenal place. And there we're also offering a whiskey which is not really about whiskey blending and not even really about international wood finishes, and it's more about the soil and agriculture, and that whiskey is at the end of the day an agricultural good, and the better we treat our farmers and our farmland, the better whiskey we can make. And so we have a whole line called Tribute, which is sort of our tribute to the earth and to the farmers and to the people who make the ingredients that make the whiskey. And that is just a smooth, easy sipper, produced, engineered, created to just be a fantastic daily sipper. And so the first version of Tribute is coming out almost concurrently with the first Explorer. And between those three product families, each one has like pretty specific guardrails, what we're trying to do. So the Legacy is really about blending international whiskeys that are well aged and pushing the envelope in innovation as far as whiskey blending goes. Explorer is about the combination of whiskey and wood and how different whiskeys interact with different woods, and sometimes it's multiple woods playing together, different whiskeys blended, aged in wood. There's a lot of experimentation and exploration to be had on that front. And then now we have Tribute, which is really about the land and how can we be stewards of the land and also create fantastic, easy drinking whiskey.
I love it. I love it. It sounds like y'all are having a ton of fun and making some cool things. And Ari, this has been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see and taste those new Whiskey Gypsies as they come out.
Yeah, and listen, everything that's available can be purchased certainly at fine stores in Tennessee as well as some other states as well. You can go to our website, whiskeyjypsi.com, to see what states we're in distribution, what stores we're in distribution, but you can also use our website for direct-to-consumer to have products shipped directly to you depending on where you live. So we're really, really proud that our products are available so widely despite the fact that we're a young company.
Well, and I love to see that new price point on the Explorer. It's a fun, accessible one, and I can't wait to see all the like I said, all the stuff that you guys are able to do.
Yeah, we can't wait to share it with you, and as soon as you get your hands on it, I'd love to come back. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Happy to sit and enjoy it together and talk about it some more.
Absolutely. Nothing better than a little conversation and a little whiskey.
Right. That's right.